Not very many people were happy to see another round of snow this morning, but this guy is loving it. Yele was out exploring his new home at the Calgary Zoo. He completed his quarantine this week after arriving from a zoo in Quebec. Staff are now allowing him to settle in before meeting the zoo's other polar bear, CTV, soon. Here's what else is making news tonight. Pipe reinforcement work is complete and water restrictions are lifted.
So just a huge thank you to Calgarians for those actions you are taking.
But the possibility of further disruption is scaring off some businesses. Plus, sweeping new legislation to give the province more control over municipalities.
We have the capacity in-house. We don't need Big Brother watching over us.
One of the changes includes restrictions to material in public libraries. And a window into the past.
I hadn't seen these slides for 25 years.
A celebrated Calgary photographer opens his archives for a unique art project.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Calgarians are breathing a sigh of relief today with water restrictions now lifted after 24 days of repairs to the South Bearspaw feeder main. Businesses affected by lost revenue and layoffs, though, they're welcoming the change, but many remain uncertain about what comes next. Mark Villani has the latest.
After 3 weeks of repairs, the city says there's light at the end of Calgary's water main tunneling saga.
Well, Calgary, you did it. We did it.
Repairs on 9 high-risk sections of the pipe are complete, reinforcing the line and replacing valves. It means water restrictions are officially lifted and water is flowing again through the Bearspaw South feeder main. Recreation centers are back to normal operations too, and the water shortage worry firefighters had is also gone. But this is all just a temporary fix.
We are living in a new reality, one where this feeder main is critically compromised, and yes, one where it could fail again at any time.
The next step comes in mid-April with a pipe inspection using a mechanical device to check its condition.
Working underground is always the riskiest time for us when we're working on projects. We will encounter problems, but the teams will work to overcome them.
And some Calgarians say they're optimistic after these latest water conservation efforts.
It's great that things are flowing and moving so that it's just not an additional thought.
But others are a little more concerned.
I'm a little worried about our infrastructure. There's so much need right now in the city. So, I know, a lot of people are close to bankruptcy.
We were at a $350,000 loss.
That's how much this Calgary irrigation business says it lost during stage 4 water restrictions. It had to lay off staff and worries about the pipe bursting again.
We've looked into branching out into other locations, other provinces, as a result of these restrictions.
Meanwhile, other businesses want compensation.
Do I think that we should be able to charge for a percentage of what we've lost in total income? Yeah.
No plans are in place to compensate, but the city says supporting businesses is top of mind, and conserving water, even without restrictions, could still be vital.
We cannot afford to become complacent.
And Mark joins us from 16th Ave along the repair site. Mark, the city says it's making more progress on installing the new water main.
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. Last week, crews started up the very first micro-tunneling machine to get that pipe installed. This week, a second machine coming in here. The city saying that they are on pace to have all of this done by December. Now, there will be another round of water restrictions coming up in the fall. That's when the feeder main is going to be shut down again to connect this new pipe. Details on all of that still being finalized. But again, Tara, all of this could change in an instant if this South feeder main bursts again, and we could see those water restrictions return at a moment's notice. So lots of uncertainty with the rest of these months ahead. Tara.
Thank you. The Alberta government is proposing dozens of changes to municipal rules on housing, taxes, accountability, and more. Wide-ranging legislation could quash vacancy taxes and create codes of conduct for councillors. But some say the updates go too far. Jordan Canagan reports.
The provincial government is taking another step into City Hall.
In a legal sense, and it's a legal phrase, municipalities are creatures of the province, meaning statute creates them.
And some of those rules will change under Bill 28. The wide-ranging legislation covers updates to housing, taxes, governance, transparency, and more. Among those, a universal code of conduct for all municipal politicians.
Bill 28 is a needed stepping up of accountability measures and code of conducts for municipal officials. Right now we're operating largely in a vacuum. There's not really due process for complaints.
The Alberta government is also set to prohibit vacancy taxes for Alberta residents. Canmore wants to target vacation homeowners amid a housing shortage. The town's livability tax program will still move ahead, but in a limited scope.
Rather than looking at it as a loss of dollars compared to what we were expecting, what we are going to be getting is an increase in dollars that we will have at our disposal.
More changes could give the province the power to order municipalities to transfer control of utilities to a public entity. It's something Calgary is already considering with its water system and NMAX.
For me, more autonomy, not more rules and regulations is what the large urban centers are looking for. Again, the ability to self-govern is something the province is looking at with regards to federal oversight. So I would say we have the capacity in-house. We don't need Big Brother watching over us.
But the minister says the changes provide clarity and builds trust in municipalities.
We need to have somebody whose core responsibility isn't delivering the municipal services, but instead is overseeing how the system works.
Jordan joins us from City Hall. Jordan, the bill is also facing scrutiny from the opposition and unions.
The Alberta NDP says the sweeping legislation takes away the ability of people's right to make a decision. QP Alberta, the union that represents thousands of healthcare workers and education workers, also calling this a municipal takeover attempt by the provincial government. Now, a lot of these regulations and this legislation still is being worked on. They will do that over the next several months, but it is still anticipated that a lot of these rules will be in place by January of 2027. Tara?
Okay, Jordan, thank you. Calgary's mayor is using an interview from 2022 to push back against the provincial property tax hike.
I think that Mayor Jody Gondek has a great point. I've looked at it too. The amount of money that gets taken out of Calgary in education property taxes versus what gets transferred back in municipal grants.
That clip is from Danielle Smith when she announced her bid for UCP leadership 4 years ago. It was shared by Jeremy Farkas on Wednesday. In the clip, Smith questions the current method of a provincial property tax that would go to general revenues. Farkas says the province has increased its portion of property taxes by 57% over the last 4 years. The mayor says he wants to hold the premier to her word.
When she characterized the current system that we have as equalization, I fully agree with those comments. And when she stated that she's seeking a more reasonable deal for Alberta municipalities, I also agree with that too. So that said, I'm holding the provincial government to account.
Farkas says he isn't seeking a dysfunctional relationship with the province, but he will hold them to account when he disagrees. We have reached out to the Premier's office for comment. The province says proposed new rules affecting public libraries are not a book ban, but libraries say it's censorship. Bill 28 also amends the Libraries Act to allow the minister to respond to complaints about books that may contain visual depictions of sex. Libraries would then have to make sure those books would not be available to anyone under the age of 16. Options include having such material controlled by library staff or put in separate areas. The minister says the province is seeking input from parents and librarians.
Librarian staff is going to be a part of how we roll this out, and that's why parental authority, any parent that wants kids to have access to any material in a library, they can grant that authority to their children. It's not my job to get in the way of that, but until that permission is given, those who are under the age of 16 are going to have to get their parents' permission.
The Coalition of Alberta Public Libraries released a statement this afternoon saying libraries were not consulted on the changes and that Albertans overwhelmingly trust public libraries to make appropriate decisions without government interference.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Crude oil prices shot up today. The markets were rattled after Donald Trump's address last night, where he said nothing new on Iran or an end to the war. The price in Calgary is sitting in the $1.77 range. The Conservative opposition is now pushing the Carney government to declare a tax holiday on all fuel, zero tax until the end of 2026. Both the federal and provincial governments say an adjustment is possible at the pumps, but not until later in the year. Also today, Amazon announced it will now charge an extra 3.5% on all deliveries for people who use the platform to sell goods. The increase was triggered by higher fuel costs. A massive blast of snow turned Calgary back into a winter wonderland. Hours of precipitation left the streets packed with wet snow, and it made for some interesting commutes. Tim Brooke joins us now. Tim, drivers have been having an especially tough time today.
Yes, Tara, 178 collisions happened here in our city today, 23 of those, unfortunately, involving injuries. Crews, as you can imagine, have been busy all day, especially on those priority 1 routes, making sure that they're safe and clear to drive on. But of course, on a day like today, one sweep just doesn't cut it. Whiteout traffic, closed roads, and sketchy sidewalks. Thursday was just another typical spring day in Calgary. Cleaning crews had their hands full with city roads all morning. The conditions did improve as the day continued, but it was still messy, to say the least.
It is infinitely more convenient to have one set of tires on your vehicle the entire year. Completely understandable, but accidents are very expensive.
This mechanic believes winter tires would solve a lot of Calgary's problems.
The winter tires are always going to be better than all-weather tires. It's like trying to have a Swiss Army knife do the same job as something very specific.
Quebec and British Columbia have varying degrees of winter tire mandates. They're not legally required here in Alberta, though the province does recommend them in the winter months. Tow truck drivers were busy with jobs, both big and small.
We had close to 40 calls today for a small company. In these type of road condition, it's more slippery than minus 40.
And the problems aren't just on the roads. Runways are also being impacted. Some airlines even pre-canceled flights in advance of the snowfall.
This is life in Canada. We're used to. It's something big, yeah.
It's an especially rough landing for those coming home from vacation.
We're in April. What is going on with Mother Nature?
And I didn't bring a coat either, so I'm kind of in trouble.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
All right, let's bring Danielle in now. So, is that all behind us? How's our Easter long weekend shaping up?
Easter long weekend looks pretty good. It looks much more spring-like than what we've been dealing with today. And the good news for Calgary is you can see this really starting to make its way out. There is the potential for isolated flurries up until 2 a.m., but the worst of it in the city is now done. You can see, though, that this is tracked to the north of the Trans-Canada, so areas to the east of the QE2 will still be dealing with this, and Medicine Hat up along the Saskatchewan border, it's still heavy there. Okay, -2 right now at the airport with a wind chill of -7. Looking at these next 24 hours, it will still be cool to start in the morning. The clouds will clear out. -7 with the wind chill. So cool start at 8 a.m., but we should get to +8 in the afternoon. There's even a small chance of a little late day sprinkle. More details coming up, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen has his first full day in orbit. We'll tell you how the crew spent their day as the Artemis II mission really kicks into high gear now. And another of Donald Trump's top lieutenants is out. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi gets her walking papers. That's next.
Integrity looks like a good burn. We're confirming.
Integrity copies.
To breaking news, the Artemis II space mission marking a moment more than 50 years in the making. The Orion spacecraft carrying 4 astronauts, including Canadian Jeremy Hansen, exiting Earth's orbit with one huge thrust. It is the first time since 1972 that humans have left Earth's orbit as they make their way to the moon. That moment was the highlight of a busy first day for the crew on the historic space mission, which has not been without a few glitches. CTV's John Vinavalli Rao has more.
3, 2, 1, booster ignition.
after a picture-perfect launch and 8-minute ride into space, part of which was captured out the window of a passenger jet.
Welcome on board the Integrity spacecraft.
The astronauts have had a very productive first day in orbit, checking systems while simulating a rendezvous with another spacecraft and making course adjustments.
The systems, though, are performing very well. We anticipate that they continue to.
Great job, Victor.
The astronauts have noted that it is cold in the capsule, which is being addressed. And initially, there was a problem with a lone toilet on board, but that has been fixed, with officials saying glitches are expected, given this is the first time humans have ever flown in the Orion spacecraft.
You can expect that with such a complex systems along the mission, different little anomalies will blip up and down, and they'll be resolved. That's part of the course.
Following a 6-minute engine burn today, it will take the astronauts 4 days to get to the moon. Once there, they'll loop around it, with some hoping they'll capture on Monday a stunning view like this of the Earth rising from behind the moon.
I know that they're really going to try to make that happen. I can't give you a confirmation on that yet, but stay tuned.
And yeah, it's a tiny space. It's about the size of a camper van.
In a pre-recorded video, Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen showed just how tight the interior of the capsule is. The 4 astronauts have sleeping bags that can be tethered to the spacecraft walls, and during the trip, they'll test exercise gear, which will be important to long missions in space.
They are taking a very small piece of equipment called a flywheel, and so they're going to be doing exercise every single day.
The astronauts describing the view from space as phenomenal as they head to the moon. And we will likely hear directly from Hansen this weekend during a video chat from space. John Venavalli-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
More shakeups inside the Trump administration. The U.S. president has ousted Pam Bondi as U.S. Attorney General. Donald Trump called Bondi a great American patriot and a loyal friend in a social media post. But U.S. media outlets are reporting he had been frustrated with Bondi recently, in particular over her handling of the Epstein files. He is also reportedly upset that she hasn't investigated or prosecuted enough of his political opponents. Trump says Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche will take over as acting Attorney General.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
All right, let's bring Danielle back in as we look ahead to our 5-day forecast.
And it's a more spring-like next few days for us. So we've paid our dues. We're heading into a long weekend for most of you anyway. And we'll have warmer weather and the chance of a sprinkle as opposed to the chance of snowfall for much of a long weekend. So we'll talk about it. Right now, we're sitting at -2 in the city. Yeah, that's cooler than normal. A normal daytime high is between 8 and 9 degrees for the city at this time of year, so we're well below normal and much cooler than yesterday. Yesterday's high was 4 degrees. So, you know, it's cooler than that. And yesterday, Medicine Hat got to 13 degrees and now sitting at 1. So quite a difference in temperature, absolutely. Temperatures will start to climb as we head into the weekend. And some communities in the far south will even get back into the double digits for this long weekend. All right, so you can see the system fizzling out of Calgary, tracking off and dying out here. So in Calgary, we're not looking at any more real accumulation from this, but you could still see some isolated pockets of snowflakes out there right up until 2 a.m. But you can see to the east of the QE2, this is where it's a little more dense and consistent, and around the Medicine Hat area and all along the Saskatchewan border. So we're still looking at snowfall totals accumulating here. But we're done in Calgary. Now for the far south, Lethbridge over to areas south of Medicine Hat, we're still going to get a push from the states. The system, the core of it stateside, is still going to push in a little bit of moisture to the far south. So really expect some snowflakes up until 2 a.m. and then we're fully done with the system. This is a look as we go through the evening hours, and then that will make its way out. All right, for tomorrow, the clouds will clear out throughout the day. Later in the day, because we do have this instability from the stateside system and what's going on to the east of us, so we have the potential of a little bit of convective activity. So much like summer thunderstorms, we have these pop-up showers possible. Certainly down the QE2, that's where it's most likely. We may even see a little sprinkle in Calgary late day tomorrow. This is around the supper hours and early evening. And you can see that develop around Lethbridge and over towards Medicine Hat later in the evening. We have this potential as well as we head into Saturday. So late Friday, late Saturday, you may see a couple raindrops out there. Nothing significant for Calgary, but areas closer to QE2 and Trans-Canada, you may even see an isolated non-severe thunderstorm. All right, for the system we're dealing with right now, we're not looking at any further accumulation other than the far south could see another centimeter or two. Medicine had as well, and areas to the east of the QE2. Your Action Furnace 5-day forecast, 8 degrees in the city for the next couple of days, and there's that small chance of a late day shower. We do have a chance of flurries traced to a centimeter, so nothing like the system we just had, but you could see some snowflakes on Sunday as temperatures dip once again, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. COVID-19 booster shots will be available for eligible Albertans next week. Starting Tuesday, people 80 and older, seniors living in long-term care homes, immunocompromised, and adults 65 to 79 years old with underlying medical conditions can get a free vaccine. The province says these groups may benefit from receiving 2 immunizations per year to support stronger and longer-lasting protection. Appointments for kids 12 and under can be made at primary care Alberta public health clinics. For people over 12, appointments can be made at pharmacies. People who are not eligible can still pay to get vaccinated. An earthquake shakes central Alberta. It is a rare occurrence. We'll tell you where it was felt and what we know about it tonight. And the province pushes back after Ottawa pulls housing funding for Red Deer. We'll explain. Hundreds of people north of Edmonton felt an earthquake last night, leaving many shaken and a little confused. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti takes a look at what may have triggered it.
It was a quiet evening in Gibbons Wednesday evening when something in the area felt off.
My bed shook, the walls shook, and I immediately ran outside to see what happened, but I couldn't figure it out.
It just was kind of shook the house, but I just thought that was like a weird wind gust, I thought, eh?
It was really rumbling in my room, and I didn't know what that was. And I thought it was just some people walking, like really loudly.
Turns out it was a 4.5 magnitude earthquake. It was recorded in this area, 42 kilometers northeast of Morinville, just before 5:30 p.m.
A seismologist I spoke to says earthquakes aren't common in Alberta or this area. In the last 40 years, there have been 6 earthquakes within 50 kilometers of the one that happened here.
Those were all really small, magnitude 3s, 2 or 3s. So it's an unusual location for earthquakes. Typically, it's very quiet in the prairies.
Seismologist John Cassidy says more than 500 people reported to Natural Resources Canada that they felt the quake. The Alberta Energy Regulator confirmed this was a known induced earthquake.
We see a lot of earthquakes that are related to industrial activities, to oil and gas.
Cassidy says a 4.5 magnitude earthquake doesn't cause much damage, but can be felt by everyone.
They were all clucking out there. All the neighbors' chickens were just a-going. The horses were going a little nuts. It was pretty unnerving and scary, something I sure don't want to do again.
The Alberta Geological Survey says the earthquake didn't cause any damage or injuries. It's still determining the cause. In Gibbons, Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News.
Alberta country music artist Corb Lund is hitting the road to promote his anti-coal mining petition. The Water Not Coal petition aims to protect the Rockies from future coal developments. Over the next 3 days, Lund will visit more than a dozen towns and cities across the province. He'll be in Calgary on Saturday. Lund hopes to collect signatures and educate people about coal mining risks.
If we get our signatures, when we get our signatures, the Premier has said publicly that we will be included in the October 19th referendum. So yeah, a big part of this is, well, you know, when that hits, then it's a matter of convincing a majority of Albertans that this is a bad idea for Alberta.
The Water Not Coal petition needs just over 177,000 signatures to be successful. The province says it will reject future housing agreements with Ottawa in response to the feds pulling funding for Red Deer. Red Deer lost out on $12 million from the Housing Accelerator Fund when Ottawa determined it didn't comply with its requirements for the money. The funding was tied to a condition for blanket zoning that would allow up to 4 units per residential lot. City Council voted against that zoning bylaw change last summer. Alberta's housing minister says Red Deer shouldn't be punished for the decision since Alberta is leading the way on home construction.
We don't need the federal government to come tell communities that have the best housing building on how to do their bylaws. What we need to do is continue to do what the provincial government has done. We have requirements. We expect houses to be built. We expect approvals to take place. Red Deer is doing it just as fast as anybody else.
In January, Ottawa also reduced funding for Vaughan and Toronto for not fully meeting their housing agreements. Calgary's rezoning public debate has wrapped up for a second week, but it will continue next week. The city has heard from about 400 speakers so far. About 520 signed up to have their say, and those remaining will still get a chance if they show up on Tuesday morning. If no one else turns up, council will move on to questions to administration, amendments, debate, and then a final decision. The land use bylaw was passed in 2024 to allow the building of more townhomes and row homes. The vast majority of people who have spoken at City Hall are calling for a repeal of blanket rezoning. The University of Calgary is exploring the potential for a new stadium on campus. The Dinos have been using McMahon Stadium for outdoor sports, but the university says their teams will outlast the aging stadium. In the coming weeks, the U of C is issuing a request for proposals for architectural design work to assess the feasibility of the project. A new stadium will be for both the campus sports teams and public use. He had his eyes on big events in Calgary for years. Just ahead, a celebrated photographer opens up his archives so the rest of us can get a behind-the-scenes peek too. We all take pictures these days with cameras on our phones, but 40 years ago, news photographers were shooting on film, and all of those pictures had to be developed. A longtime professional photographer has amassed quite a collection of slides from the 1980s. Now he is turning them into an art display to provide a window to the past. Kevin Fleming reports.
He started his career in 1981, and in that decade, Pat Price shot more than 30,000 slides for various news outlets. He's taken photos of royalty, celebrities, sports stars, cowboys, and farmers. He's kept many of the slides he shot in boxes at his home, and in December, he started going through them.
I had forgotten a lot of these images, of course. And the funny thing about when you do this a long time, and I'm sure any photographer can relate to this, you might forget what you shot 20 years ago, but as soon as you see that image, you know it's yours.
Price spent a month editing 1,200 slides and began mounting them onto the glass of old window frames.
The beauty about doing this is the visual effect is really cool, but when people start looking at some of the people that are in the slides, and then they kind of go, oh, look, there's Gorbachev, or there's Bob Dylan, or there's Alice Cooper.
Price is working at a community art center in Cochrane. Tony Millwater says he's impressed at how the slides have been turned into art.
It never ceases to amaze me the creativity that comes together when you meld two different mediums together, which is a big reason why we keep this space open concept, because when people see Pat working on his project, they're inquisitive, they're curious, they come and say hi.
Price says many of the images have brought back memories. One involves going to the home of then Premier Ralph Klein, who was known for his controversial statements.
Ralph says to me, well, tell me about yourself, Pat. And I said, well, I was smirking by then. I said, I'm one of those bums and creeps that came from Ontario. Colleen looked at Ralph, and all of a sudden Ralph burst out laughing, and I burst out, Colleen burst out laughing.
The finished window frames are like taking a trip back in time, and Price plans to make many more with his collection of slides. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Cochrane.
That's a pretty cool display.
Yeah.
Well, if you're expecting a delivery, you know, you have to be wary of porch pirates these days, and sometimes they come on four legs.
What the heck? Do you see a pizza somewhere?
Maggie, the neighbor's golden retriever, pounced on the opportunity and took the family's pizza. It was all caught on the doorbell cam. The canine culprit left just one piece, which the toddler claimed as her own.
I thought the other dog was going in for the piece.
No, there's just one little piece left in the box, and you can hear the toddler say, "That's mine."
That's cute, but
that dog's going to have an upset tummy.
Yeah, I'd say.
Well, here's a song that can be adapted for any friend.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes.
She's teaching her patient pup all the body parts in this classic song. She had to pause there. She got a little tripped up with the knees. She couldn't figure out where the dog's knees were, but she recovered pretty well.
The pup is just like, yeah, whatever.
He's like, I'll play along.
Yep.
I'm happy to get some attention. Sure. Yeah.
That is so cute.
Isn't he cute?
He's just sitting there watching. What's she doing?
Well, finally playing fetch with this shy pup is a little more like hide and seek.
She drops her ball, and then she runs behind the corner and hides from it.
This is Zina the Vishla. She has her own way of playing fetch. Yeah, she drops the ball at her mom's feet, and then she runs and hides, peeks out from around the corner. She waits for the ball to be thrown, and then it's game on.
There you go.
It's not a fast game, but it's fun.
No. Is it fetch or is it hide and seek? I guess
it's a little of both.
It's both.
It's a little of both.
It's keeping it interesting there.
She has invented her own game. A giant beetle is all the talk in BC, but this bug is dangling over a cliff's edge. No one knows who put it there. Authorities say it won't be there for long. That's next.
CTV Ski Report, brought to you by Sunshine Village, home of Canada's best snow and hottest lifts.
Okay, Skywatch weather camera looking real wintry today. That was quite the drive out there. I was out there. I'm sure many of you were out there, and that was very tricky. Keep in mind, it will be slick for the mornings because we're going to get a lot of melting during the day and then freezing out there on the roads and sidewalks. So slick spots for sure for these next few mornings. -2 currently, feeling closer to about -7 with the wind chill. Today's high was 0, but that was closer to midnight. Today we've been hovering between -1, -2 for the day. The record for this day, we're nowhere near that. We're not going to get to that for the weekend either, but we will get much warmer than what we had today. -2 in Calgary again, 0 for Brooks, Lethbridge, Milk River, +1 for Pincher Creek and Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat got to 13 degrees yesterday, so quite a difference in temperature. All right, this system is basically east of the QE2 now and towards Medicine Hat, where it is the heaviest, especially along the Saskatchewan border. So another centimeter, maybe even 2 possible in Medicine Hat before this is fully said and done, and up for areas closer to the Saskatchewan border. All right, for the next 24 hours in Calgary, -4 for the morning, feeling more like -7 with the wind chill, but the clouds are going to clear out for the morning. The sun will come out. That will feel really good. There is a very small chance of a late day pop-up shower in the city, especially closer to the supper hours. 8 degrees though for our high. If we get the shower at all, and again, it is a small chance, it will be very brief. 14 degrees in Salmon Arm tomorrow, 15 for Kelowna, 7 for Edmonton and Rocky Mountain House. Red Deer and south, any communities south of Red Deer, potential for fog patches tonight and through tomorrow morning. Calgary included in that as well. Drumheller getting to 4 for tomorrow, High River 8. Lethbridge will likely get into the double digits tomorrow, and Medicine Hat looking a high of 6 with a mix of sun and cloud.
Calgary's water restrictions are now officially lifted. The city is thanking the public for doing its part. Water is flowing again through the Bearspaw South feeder main after weeks of critical repairs, but the city warns until the new pipe is installed this fall, the system remains fragile. Calgarians should be on the ready in the event of another break. The UCP government is proposing sweeping changes to municipal control over housing accountability and planning. If passed, Bill 28 would mean more provincial oversight for cities and towns, impacting everything from housing rules, property taxes, codes of conduct, and permits. And the province wants more say over what books are accessible in public libraries. It wants to manage complaints about books that may contain visual depictions of sex and make them unavailable to anyone under the age of 16. But critics say it is a form of censorship. Energy prices around the world climbed again today after Washington offered no guarantee on when the U.S. and Israeli attacks on Iran will end. Here's Andrew Bell of BNN Bloomberg.
Hello there. Iran's shutdown of oil and gas shipments through the crucial Strait of Hormuz continued to drive energy prices higher around the world today. Bloomberg said the world's most important oil contract, so-called dated Brent for immediate delivery, surged above $140 US a barrel, the highest since 2008. Desperate refiners are scrambling to get hold of whatever barrels they can. Iran has paralyzed ship traffic through the Strait of Hormuz after it was attacked in late February by the US and Israel. They want to end Tehran's nuclear program. Let's check out the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar changed hands at 71.83 US cents, down about 1/5 of a US cent. WTI crude, the North American benchmark, traded at $111.54, up more than $11. Western Canadian Select Oil, by our latest quote, was at $75.40, down almost $5. However, that does not reflect today's rise in oil prices. And the TSX ended at 33,108.22, up just over 150 points. That's the latest in business. I'm Andrew Bell of BNN Bloomberg.
An impressive yet mischievous feat of engineering is on display in BC. This vintage Volkswagen Beetle is hanging precariously in Squamish. That's about 45 minutes north of Vancouver. The stunt has become a temporary tourist attraction in an already scenic hiking and climbing spot. However, authorities are not impressed, and the area has been closed because of the risk of that car falling.
Crazy. One just has to think of how they managed to get it up there.
Now, it's not the first time a beat-up red bug has been part of a prank in the province, which in the past have been linked to UBC engineering students. Once a beetle was placed on top of the school's clock tower. Another occasion, a failed attempt to hang the car from a bridge led to the arrest of 5 students. In this case, the future engineers deny involvement. The car is expected to be removed within a week. Cavalry FC is ready to get back to the league championship again. The season opener is this weekend, and there are several new players in the lineup. Glenn has that for us next.
So at this time, I do believe your normal faculties are impaired, okay, and you're under the unknown substance, okay? So at this time, you're under arrest for DUI. Yes, sir.
Police in Florida have released new body cam video of the DUI arrest of Tiger Woods after a car crash. You can see Woods in handcuffs as police pull pills from his pocket and place them in an evidence bag. He's then put into the back of a police car. The arrest affidavit says the 50-year-old failed a field sobriety test after the crash. Court documents show he is pleaded not guilty. He is due in court next month. The Calgary Flames are back on the ice tonight to continue their 6-game road trip. Glenn is back with us. And Glenn, the first game didn't go very well.
Tara, it was rather embarrassing. The Colorado Avalanche whooped the Flames 9-2. Tonight they're in Vegas to play the Golden Knights. They have a new head coach in John Tortorella, and it'll be Zach Whitecloud's first visit back to Vegas since being traded to the Flames in the Rasmus Andersson deal. Whitecloud has played well since being acquired, and he's become a leader on this team. Whitecloud excited for tonight's game, but he knows it's going to be a little strange as well.
Just overall nerves. It's just everything's different, right? Everything's a little weird, but it's fun and exciting, and obviously, and all the guys have been great. Went to dinner with some of them last night, and you know, they were all excited to see me, and me likewise. So get to catch up and see how everyone's families are doing, and how all the kids are doing, and all that sort of stuff, and make sure everyone's good.
You know, we got whatever, I think 16 or 17 guys right now, so you just want to play hockey. I think it's tough to obviously get hurt and miss time, and seeing guys play. I think at the end of the day, as a competitor, you just want to be in there and playing every single night and playing hockey, and you never want to lose an opportunity or lose a spot. So I think you just got to keep grinding and keep playing.
Tonight's game, of course, also means Rasmus Andersson will face the Flames for the first time since the trade. The Calgary Hitmen have a chance to pull out the broom on the Brandon Wheat Kings tonight. The Hitmen with a 3-0 lead in that series. Game 4 is underway, but not a great start for the Hitmen. The Wheat Kings up 2-0 after 1. PWHL's takeover tour was certainly a big success in Calgary. Over 16,000 fans packed the Saddledome for last night's game between the Toronto Scepters and the Ottawa Charge, and it was Toronto who gets on the board first in this one. Blair Turnbull with the shot goes in off Maggie Connors past Gwyneth Phillips. 1-0 for the Scepters. The Charge get that back later in the first. Fanuza Kadrova gets the puck and she rips that one home. We're tied at 1 after 1 period of play. No more scoring until the third. Early in the period, Claire Dalton, she is the one that's going to score. Nice right there off the rebound. That's your game winner. Toronto beats Ottawa 2-1. Calgary FC on the road to open up the Canadian Premier League season. Calgary goes up against Pacific FC in Langford, BC on Sunday. Calgary FC has been hard at work getting ready for their season opener on Sunday against Pacific FC. It's been about 5 months since Calgary lost the league final to Ottawa, and they're raring to go.
When you play the last game of the season, you know, you've got a long time to get over it and get on with it. We didn't have CONCACAF this year for the first time in a few, so we had a little bit more time to prep, which made us make the strategic decisions we needed to. And I think this is the fans are going to see a hell of a team this year.
Cavalry will be a different looking team this season. They've added 6 new players, including goalkeeper Nate Ingham. He comes over from Ottawa.
Yeah, different in a lot of ways. You know, big adjustment period. You know, all in good ways. I think my first few months has gone as well as I could have asked for. Just in the football world, in the community, with friends. You know, it feels, you know, the early stages of home, which I'm excited about. But yeah, big adjustment. It's been weird.
Ingham's replacing Marco Carducci, who was the captain of Cavalry. Obviously, big shoes to fill in the net. And what a save for Marco Carducci! But obviously, others will also have to step up in the leadership role.
Yeah, I think the guys that have been here for a long time now, speaking for, of course, Sergio, who's been here from day one. Toby, who's been here for a while now, Musi, and I think myself, we're definitely going to be the ones that are taking that up on our shoulders, and which will bring a bit more of responsibility to the team.
Despite having many new faces, Cavalry says this isn't a rebuild, it's a retool, and the expectations are the same as always.
No, we're competing. That's it. Like we'll be there at the end. You know, you'll always see that. Doesn't matter what roster we put out, but this could arguably be one of our best off seasons we've had in a long time.
Kickoff for Sunday's game, 4 o'clock. Today's the final day of round robin at the Men's World Curling Championship in Ogden, Utah. Canada's already clinched a playoff spot. They were facing Germany this afternoon. Fantastic start for Canada in this game. They've got the hammer in the first end. Canadian skip Matt Dunstone with the draw to pick up the deuce. He is on target, so it's 2-0 for the Canadians. Third end now, Canada up 2-1, and they have the hammer again. Another draw for Dunstone. This time he picks up 3, an open draw for 3. Doesn't get much easier than that. Canada commanding 5-1 lead. They go on to beat Germany 9-1, improve to 9-2 at the Worlds. Canada wraps up round robin play with the game tonight against Norway.
Thank you, Glenn. Let's get our final peek at the long weekend forecast, Danielle.
Okay, so I'm going to sum up the 24 hours first. This is your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. A couple of things you need to know about tomorrow. Yes, it will be a lot nicer and a lot more spring-like, but -7 with the wind chill in the morning and fog patches. And then a good bunch of sunshine late morning, early afternoon. Later in the day, around the supper hours, early evening, we'll get up to 8 degrees. Small chance of an isolated shower. And we have that chance later on Saturday as well. But look at that, highs of 8. Much nicer than today. By Sunday, we get into the chance of a few flurries, but this should not be a system that behaves like the one we just had. Anywhere from trace to a centimeter is possible. So all in all, that's a really nice Easter long weekend. All right. Your weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. And this one was sent in by Barney, the sad little bike in the snow. It will look much brighter for your long weekend.
I'm going to Windermere Valley to play golf.
Yeah, you are. Woo!
Have a great weekend.